It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your man is?
I'm an expert. I am the DL whisperer.
He claims he can sense if your man is on the down low.
We need to start protecting women, especially Black women.
The DL whisperer, thousands of people, mostly women, flocking to him for advice. But at whose expense?
Bashing random people for no reason, you don't know them.
DL alert! DL alert!
It's become a dangerous game.
Come play on me like that, gang. I'll smack the out you, yeah?
Yeah, nah, that's lame. That's not cool.
That's backfiring. The threats and doxing.
Look where I'm at, ho!
Celebrities even filing protective orders.
Are you obsessed with DL men?
This is a lie.
I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates. Those days of keeping it on the down low, nobody has to know, are over, says Naquan Palmer, known as the DL Whisperer on social media. But what was once a page he created to educate women on toxic male behavior has spiraled into a web of online harassment and now criminal investigations.
I knew that this was a global problem.
Because before he became the DL Whisperer with over 240,000 followers on Instagram, Naquan Palmer admits that he was known as the DL Loverboy on social media, where he once boasted about his sneaky relationships with men.
What makes a DL man in your eyes?
What makes the DL man in my eyes is the man that is dating women and secretly sleeping with men, having desires for men, or anything of that nature involving homosexual activity.
I did see an interview that you did about you almost losing your life. Talk to me about that moment. You were dealing with the DL man and you exposed him on social media?
For us, we had been dealing with each other for 5 years. So, of course, there was a lot of tumultuous moments, but that was the first time I had ever said, you know what, I'm done. And he thought that because I was done, that I was going to go expose him. So, like I told him, after 5 years, don't you think I would have already exposed you if that was my intention? Like, we've been through worse stuff than me being done with you.
He says that's when the light bulb went off. He rebranded himself as the DL Whisperer, with the goal, he says, to protect and educate women.
I knew I would be hated. I truly just got on TikTok to give out information because I had a job, so I wasn't on there for money. There was no ulterior motives. I just knew that women needed this information, and I had it.
He breaks it down to his followers in hours-long PowerPoint presentations. Here's a glimpse on TikTok. He calls out this man for being DL.
I can cook for myself. I can clean for myself. I can hire a man. I know how to cook. I can hire a chef if I wanted to. If I'm at peace by myself. Tell a woman to actually bring some real tangible value to my life, making my life better, helping me make more money, helping me push me towards my purpose for an extended period amount of time without asking me for anything. That's when I'll start to see, okay, she's worth me spending my money and my resources.
Patriarchy is always hard at work. This man needs the man because I don't think he even understands how a woman can even add value to his life. And by him not being able to understand that, do you think he's going to be with a woman? Did you not just hear what he wanted in a woman?
And this man, who was simply on TikTok describing how his homeboy is bad at texting him back.
I blocked him. He not my friend no more. I don't want to talk to him. We shouldn't even be, you know what I'm saying? He done.
So you just witnessed a DL man that's in love with his homeboy, and clearly they're in love with each other. Both of them probably have women that they're not even giving any attention because they're emotionally involved with each other, and clearly they're in love with each other, as you can see.
Palmer usually backs it up with bullet points. For example, here it says, quote, DL men have more excitement around men. He will seem more engaged, energetic, or emotionally invested in male interaction, and have unusual close male friends, where he will have deep, private, emotional, physical relationships with other men that women do not know much about.
In the beginning, were you specifically calling out men by name, by image? Were you putting that on social media?
So in the beginning of the DL Whisperer, no. You might know how something looks. So it's like if I see a video and I'm scrolling, I'm like, that type of behavior is what I'm talking about. So now I'm just it's like a reference point. I always say, like, I'm writing a dissertation on DL men called DLism.
And many of his followers, they love it.
DL Whisperer ain't doing shit wrong.
Why is everybody so mad at him? He just trying to tell the truth about people. Like, I don't get that.
Are you obsessed with DL men?
I wouldn't say there is a fascination. I'm obsessed with protecting women.
Okay. And how are you protecting them? Just by...
I'm protecting women because DL men are infecting women. They're creating broken families. They're physically abusing women. They're hurting women. and just so many other ways. So I'm protecting them from those type of men that hate themselves that are going to hurt them.
Do you feel like going on social media and sharing specific men and how they operate and some of the things that they do you feel like that is productive? For example, like you posted Stefan Diggs wearing Chanel, and basically you're like, he's pretty much alluding to the fact that straight men don't wear Chanel, and he's a little sassy for that. He's a punk, is what you said.
Well,
So,
that was more of just a funny commentary, because I don't know his sexuality. So that's more of just commentary.
Mhm.
I run a brand where people send me videos and I just kind of react to them sometimes. That was one of those videos.
But it was at his expense, though.
I don't think it was at his expense, only because he posted it online. So I don't go and get anything that isn't already publicly posted. So I think when people post online, like you assume because they have a remix button, they have a share button, they have all of these features that allow you to interact with other people's content. So you can't assume that everybody's not gonna have the same opinion. My opinion just differs from most people.
So do you feel like Stefan Diggs is a punk for wearing Chanel?
I don't have a comment about Stephon Diggs. I don't know his sexuality because the way I consider a punk, you might not.
What was the point of posting that video?
Because my followers shared me that video and I react to videos that my followers and people that, subscribe to me want to see. So that was a video that they wanted to see.
Okay, and the end goal was.
What do you mean? There wasn't a beginning or end goal. It was just a reaction video. I think a lot of people focus on those little clips like you, and they don't pay attention to the information. I go live for 2.5 hours every day, educating women 3 times per day. So that's what people focused on. Those little funny videos, that's not why people are watching me. Those are just like comedic videos because people think that I'm just funny when I blink and just do certain things. So sometimes I will give them that because they are my audience.
He told me that his mission has nothing to do with men at all, despite him turning them into examples on TikTok. These are men, too, that he doesn't know at all. He doesn't know them personally or anything about their sexuality. It's a dangerous game, too. We talked to a certified relationship coach and a counselor about this and why he says that this should be concerning for everybody across the board. You'll hear from him a little bit later.
Some of the guys that are coming after you on TikTok, right?
Well, that I don't
Wait,
even.
let me just go back real quick because I have a point. Clearly, there are guys being offended by this.
There's always going to be guys that are upset because guess what? These are the same men that are hurting women. These are the same men that are impacting women. These are the same men that are sitting by while women are being hurt. And even you keep taking it back to, well, guys. Guess what? I don't care. I don't care who's mad. As long as women understand what I'm doing and they understand how I'm helping them, that's all that matters. I don't care if a gay person is mad. I don't care if a straight person is mad. I don't care if a man. I don't even care if some women don't even like me. And guess what? I still don't care. I'm on the defense because everybody else is on the offense. There's women that are being killed by DL men. There's trans women that are being killed by DL men. There's other straight people that are being killed by DL men. So it's a problem for every single person on this earth because DL men are self-hating men that don't care about anybody but themselves.
Give us some examples of traits of a DL man that you would alert your followers to.
And narcissism is the first thing. So narcissistic men lack empathy and compassion, which is why they're able to cheat and not tell women up front. A man who is a simp, because I always say this is something that you need to pay attention to. Men who are simps care about women. That's why you see DL men call men simps in a derogatory way. You want a man that's a simp. After that, they're going to be misogynistic because, of course, we know misogyny is the hatred of women. Oh, I just went over a couple of, but there's so many more, though. Like, they're going to have multiple baby mothers. They're going to perform straightness. Like, it's going to be a thing where I always tell women, if a man loves you, he's going to make your life easier. He's going to care about you. He's not going to physically harm you. He's going to be there to protect you and to provide for you. He's not going to make you take care of him. He's not going to sit at home while you go to work and he's at home doing nothing. He's not going to not help you with the kids and just essentially, they're going to show you that they care. Like if they cared about themselves as men, they wouldn't be having kids with just anybody. They wouldn't be sleeping with 1,000 different women.
So So does that make them DL if they?
So definitely, first of all, there's no monolith for DL. In my PowerPoint, there's 100 signs that I go over. 100. So you're picking out a couple of signs and you're trying to like make it a definite. You have to look at it as the overall process. We go from personality, mother trauma, behavior patterns, secrecy, bedroom activities. So you have to watch the whole entire thing. That's what I'm saying. Like the women, and this is where women and men differ. Women want to protect themselves. So guess what? They'll sit there and watch a full 2-hour and 30-minute presentation and learn the actual signs. Men don't care.
But if his presentations are in fact helping women, is it doing so also by hurting others? People on TikTok firing back.
I gave it a shot.
Including rapper and personality Steve DeStoner, who has admitted to experimenting with his sexuality in the past. He says, though, he can confirm he 100% likes women.
You telling me that nigga that was born a man, a male, a boy, and want to be a girl, knows what a real nigga is thinking, knows how a real nigga is supposed to move and how a real nigga is supposed to feel? You ain't even give yourself a chance to be a man.
It really give like low self-esteem.
I said people like her make it hard for people that's really going through this to come out with these stories. Shut your ass up.
You see that sugar falling out of his tank? Because you're so sugary.
Before we continue, roommates, if you love yourself some TSR Investigates, make sure you go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the Shade Room's YouTube channel for new weekly episodes of this show and more.
This is an agenda against women. And I'm going to keep fighting for women. I don't care who don't like it.
In a recent interview too, I saw that you said, and this is a pretty powerful quote, you said, society demonizes people that aren't straight. Do you feel like you're perpetuating that stereotype and that just that darkness?
The issue with DL men is that self-hatred projects onto everybody. That's why I'm like, what they don't realize is that just coming out of the closet and being so open with themselves will allow them to love themselves. It'll allow them to receive love and be able to give love. Because see, that's the big thing with DL men. They can't build emotional connections because they don't love themselves.
But some do argue that it's a projection from his point of view.
The DL whisperer wanted to be picked by DL men. And when he realized that fantasy would not be fulfilled because these men are at the end of the day DL, he came on here and he formed a cult. And in this cult, he spewed his hurt that he was getting from those men onto you women. Now, let me make this crystal clear. I do not agree with DL men whatsoever. I feel like I have the choice of whether or not I want to deal with a Hannah Montana or not. But my point is, how can y'all be so easily influenced by something that has not been authenticated? It's almost as if I can't have you, nobody else will.
And it has spawned into pushback from members of the LGBTQ plus community, specifically the trans community.
Basically, they feel like I'm making their quality of life harder by saying that they're men. I came to the conclusion that trans women and DL men are the same thing. So essentially, DL men are hyper masculine, trans women are hyper feminine. They both hurt women. They both cosplay as different things except gay men. If you pay attention, DL men are gay men. Trans women are gay men. They don't want to identify as the gay man. So you see a gay man who's sitting before you confident in himself. And that pisses them off.
Naquan Palmer, you thought I wasn't going to find you? I know your address. I just sent you your address. You ain't answered back yet.
The online rhetoric turning into serious threats.
These girls are obsessed. You want it to box, but clearly now you want to take it to the streets. Then we're gonna meet it there. I'm gonna actually beat you to the streets. You said you looking for me? Cool.
Palmer even alleging that television and trans media personality T.S. Madison doxed and threatened his followers on social media. She has denied this publicly after weeks of online back and forth.
Yes, Madison! Bring that ass outside!
It got even uglier when a video circulated, allegedly, of Palmer driving around T.S. Madison's personal property in the suburbs of Atlanta.
Look where I'm at, ho!
There is video of you going to T.S. Madison's house. She posted it.
As you know, that's the open court case. So if you want to talk legally about anything, you would need to talk to my lawyer.
Now, the digital publication Gay Magazine, they got a hold of the court paperwork. T.S. Madison filing a temporary protective order against Palmer last week that prohibits him from, quote, any acts directly or indirectly which harass and or intimidates T.S. Madison. He also has to stay at least 500 yards from her, and Palmer can have no contact of any type, including by phone, fax, or through media. We also asked him for his lawyer's information. We asked that information twice. We have yet to hear back or receive it.
How dangerous is this kind of rhetoric on social media?
It's extremely dangerous on so many levels because we say we want men to be honest, authentic, and disclose information about who they are. We say we want that, right? But this tactic does not create the environment for people to be honest about who they are and their sexuality. If you are using being gay or having sex with a man as a dig, a slight, something that makes you less than, then of course men are not going to be honest about their same-sex attraction, right? So this type of content further pushes them into secrecy, the closet, and to be dishonest.
In your opinion, why do you think he would do something like this?
I think people who create content like the DL Whisperer, they are looking for money. They're looking for attention. They are also looking for some type of self-validation, right? Because if you look at this person, a lot of people could stigmatize him just based on how he looks, how he acts, his sexual desires. Like the same women that support him behind closed doors probably talk about him negatively. Mm-hmm. Like these same women that support him will never invite him to the cookout. They will never allow their children to sit in the same room with them. They will never allow their brothers, their sons to be around them. They will allow him to do their hair and also produce content, and that is it. What is his ultimate goal? If the ultimate goal is for men to be honest about their sexual behaviors, how about we do it in a way that actually works? Because this tactic is only great for clicks and engagement. If you want gay men or bisexual men or men in the closet to come out and be authentic, you have to create that environment where you're saying, you know what, if you disclose that you might want to have a sexual experience with another man, it's okay. You're not less than a man. There's a potential that, you still can have sex with men and women. I think it is, and we live in a society where it is hypocritical for heterosexual men to love bisexual women, but heterosexual women, they're like, no, I don't want a bisexual man. But you want him to be honest. So here's the thing, and I do this with my dating coaching clients. If you want a person to be honest about who they are, you can't be judgmental. You have to listen, allow the person to express who they are, and then you make a decision later. But if you shame, give your opinions, squint your face, the man will never, ever, ever share anything with you. What he's doing is he is fostering a culture where women, particularly Black women, now have to be detectives in their relationships. They have to start to look for signs of same-sex attraction. They're very mistrustful. So that type of relationship building is it's called like a threat-based processing for relationships. It doesn't foster intimacy. It doesn't foster trust. What women end up doing is always having a wall up. It's not going to help women find love.
The DL Whisperer says that he lost his job in higher education over this, but he says it won't stop him from continuing on social media. He did, however, launch a GoFundMe that's racked up over $10,000. He says that he needs that money for legal fees, moving expenses, and professional services to remove intimate videos and private information from the internet. He also says that he's looking forward to fighting for himself and his work in court. That date is set for March 3rd. We'll let you know what happens. For TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter.
Hello, roommates, and thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Do you want more TSR Investigates? Be sure to subscribe and check us out at theshaderoom.com.